We welcome in head coach Josh McDaniels. Coach, I want to begin with the safety to end the game. I thought that was the signature play of the year. Walk me through it from your perspective.
Yeah, and, every time that they set somebody to chip or help Max on his side of the rush, it's really important for us that we get good push inside. And I thought we had a pick in there, and Bilal ended up right in front of the quarterback, which doesn't allow the quarterback to step forward, And so it was really good, I thought, teamwork on the rush to allow Max to take the long route around the tight end, around the tackle, and the quarterback had to have so much depth in the pocket because he couldn't go forward because Bilal was right there to meet him also. So I thought they really did a good job, and we talk a lot about execution under pressure in critical moments. And for the pass rush, that's as good as it gets.
I thought Jimmy played well before the injury, especially the touchdown to Jacoby. I thought it was vintage Jimmy, seeing the field, getting the ball out. Take me through that and how he looked. Did you feel like he made progress?
Yeah, I do. He was really, he was getting the ball where it needed to go. They were trying to take some things away from us. Found the tight end early in the game multiple times, which, they were a little late on their coverage end of it. And then that coverage, they kind of had missed. They were missing somebody in the middle of the field. And so he saw it right away. He knew the route Jacoby was running. I thought Jacoby ran a good route, but good ball high in the back of the end zone, so nobody can get it but us. But yeah, I do. I think he was making some progress for sure.
Let's stay with Michael Mayer. I loved how you got him involved early, but he runs violently when he looks to hit someone.
Yeah.
What's the progress been like with him?
Yeah, leaps and bounds. He's making big progress. And so just, trying to get those guys more involved every week. Now he's more comfortable. He understands what's required of him as a pass catcher, as a route runner. And so we're being able to involve him more in third down. We converted a few third downs, the tight end position did, and some things on early downs too. But the more we get him the ball in space and they have to actually tackle him and get him to the ground, it's difficult for some of these smaller defensive backs to tackle a man like that who runs as tough, physical, and violent as he does.
I thought Brian didn't manage the game. I thought he won the game. Big throw. It looked like he came in very comfortable knowing that he had to put points up because the Patriots were chasing you.
Yeah, he just executed the offense. I thought he took the big opportunity to tucker down the middle of the field when they doubled Davante. Was generally reading the field the right way, took care of the football. Gave us an opportunity to have a couple scoring drives there. Again, we got to finish better in the red zone. That's a big key for us, obviously, moving forward. But I thought Brian was ready to go and did his job.
One more unit, the safety play. I just like where they're lined up, how they're pursuing the ball, keeping everything in front of them, but getting their hands on balls.
Yeah, Tre'von keeps, I wonder what it's going to look like when he doesn't have a cast on one hand. But him and Marcus do a good job of setting the table for our defense. They play basically every snap. We ask them to do a lot of different things. The communication has been at a really high level, and really like what's going on there with our safeties.
All right, let's get to Davante, who said his benchmark is to be the greatest. And I like that. We all know he's a captain.
Yeah.
He wants to win. What do you and the coaches, along with Davante, have to do to get him more quality targets where he could have more explosive plays?
Yeah, it's a combination of factors, but it starts with, look, this player is always somebody that we want at the point of attack for us. So, we're gonna continue to do the things that helped us be successful last year and to some degree already this year in certain games. We just got to commit to doing that. And then when we have our opportunities, we gotta make the most of them. And that might mean making sure we read the coverage out post snap a little bit better, or making a tight throw in a window where maybe he's the kind of guy that we would take a shot at that throwing the ball to. So there's some little things here and there, but look, I always want the skill players to want the ball. There's no doubt about that. They all should. Sure. That's part of the playing that position, and he's certainly well within his right to say that.
Yeah, and that's communication.
Yeah.
You have that type of communication with him, and that's a good thing that fans want to know, that you see that, and he has the ability to come into your office and your door's open.
100%. Those are conversations that are, honestly, they're not just important, but they're necessary, and that's across the, defense, offense, special teams. Players have a different insight than coaches do at times, and to be able to hear their input and then act on it and do the things necessary to improve the team, that's why it's really critical.
So potentially Tyson, Bagent, we don't know a lot about him. Most touchdowns in the history of college, Division II, small school.
Yeah.
But you've scouted a lot of these guys, and you've come from a program in the past where you know all these type of players. Concerns when you see a guy for the first time in a situation if Fields can't go because he's doubtful?
Yeah, we've watched a lot of tape on him already. He played a bunch in the preseason. He did enough to earn the opportunity to be the backup, which is important. So, impressive, athletic, got a good arm. makes plays with his arm and his leg. So it's honestly it's good that they're kind of almost similar in terms of their style, because if we're getting ready for Fields and then there's a radically different approach with the other guy, it would almost be kind of two different mentalities. But we gotta handle his legs as much as we gotta handle his arm too. And when he went in the game last week, he had poise. He helped them kind of stay in there and had an opportunity to win it at the end.
It seems like DJ Moore, they're going to throw it to him no matter what the coverage is, which is interesting. They're going to give him 50-50 balls, deep balls. When you look at your corners, safety, press coverage, laying off him, interesting player to scout.
Yeah, and he's tough when he has the ball in his hands. So you want to try to disrupt that before he gets it, because he's a big man running with the ball and he's hard to tackle. So you got to change it up and continue to be aware. Our communication pre-snap of where he's lined up is going to be important, because they move him a lot of different spots. And there's going to be some different people that'll have to take care of him. So he's definitely the biggest threat in their passing game. We got to know where he's at on every play.
So you were committed to the run in the last game, 33 attempts, not all of them real attempts, 25 to Josh.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the commitment to the running game, what you saw last week, is another step forward?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you got to do is commit to doing it, and a lot of times the running game, if you 3, 4, 2, then it's 12, then it's 18, and eventually you pop some, and you got to be able to stay committed to it. If you do, then the big ones eventually will come.
What jumped out at me is your recent press conference. You really paid tribute to their special teams and what they're able to do and how they can run it back, punt, and kickoff, how dangerous that is. But you got two elite players in Carlson and Cole that help you in that category.
Yeah, this is kind of a strength versus strength, in my opinion. They do a really good job. They're well coached. They were, like I said, they were in the top of the league in basically every kicking category last year. Their kicker's excellent. Their kickoff returner, we looked at the kickoff returner in the draft. We knew he was going to be a good player in that role, and he is. He's big, he's fast, he's hard to tackle. They do a good job of rushing the field goals. They're only team to block 2 so far this year. So every play in the kicking game is going to be critical, and every play has a chance to swing field position one way or the other. They're very physical. We pride ourselves on being physical. Our kickers are going to have a good day, and there's going to be some conditions. It's not going to be sleet and snow, but it's outside. There's going to be sun, which has affected some returners' ability to catch the ball at that field, and then some wind. So this is going to be a different element.
2 of the 3 Lombardis downstairs from the 80s, but we always think of the 85 Bears. So think about that era, because a lot of times the era you were in with all the Super Bowls, you look back at the Raiders in the 70s, the great era of 70s football, but in the 80s, the Raiders on the AFC side and those 85 Bears. What do you remember from them?
Yeah, I remember the defense.
Yeah.
Everybody does, and Jim McMahon and Walter Payton and the refrigerator. But that defense, and I've actually got to spend some time with Rob Ryan, who's on our staff, because Buddy was obviously the architect of that defense too. So the 46 defense, the pressure that they applied, their willingness to blitz and do things that were back then a little unconventional, to put a lot of pressure on the opposing offense. So, this is a different scheme we're playing. But we did educate our guys. We're 8-8 lifetime against this team, and we would like to, win the rubber match here.
Last one, you had 2 home games. I think this is a great place for Raider Nation. It's a hub. Kind of Vegas is a hub for the West Coast. There are going to be a lot of fans there, and you haven't coached as head coach there. What are you looking forward to about this trip to Chicago?
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. I mean, every time we go on the road, we're greeted with Raider Nation, and now we're going to the Midwest. Again, we haven't had a lot of games there, but I'm excited to see the turnout. I actually talked to Kevin O'Connell last week from Minnesota, just about what the atmosphere was like. So he said there was some Viking fans there and all the rest of it. So I'm eager to see our turnout. I know they're going to be there.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.